Hello, everyone. I'm Rachel. I'm your host for tonight. I hope that everyone is staying safe at home and please remember to wash your hands during this pandemic. Before we start, I would like to remind everyone that there will be a pop-up survey. Please help us do the questions and your answers are very much appreciated. Please also leave a like on our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have any questions for our guest speaker tonight, please leave them in the Q&A box below. JPO is very honored to invite Mr. Eric Lee as our guest speaker tonight. Mr. Eric Lee is a Malaysian-born conductor and trombonist who formed the PJU Symphonic Band and the Philharmonic Winds of Malaysia. Since 1996, Mr. Eric was selected to represent Malaysia at the Asian Youth Orchestra, known as AYO, for 6 years. As a member of AYO, he performed in over 40 cities in 20 countries. Currently, Mr. Eric Lee is the artistic director and resident of Philharmonic Winds of Malaysia, president of National Band Director Association of Malaysia, and at the same time the principal trombone of the National Symphony Orchestra. Other than being an active performer and conductor, Mr. Eric was often invited to adjudicate many international band competitions and chamber music competitions. He also divides his time as a tutor, giving workshops and tutorials in many countries. Please welcome Mr. Eric Lee.
Hey Rachel, how are you?
Mr. Eric.
Thanks for having me. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on to our program. So, Mr. Eric, can you tell us more about the video shown at the beginning?
Our last concert in September, and there's a new arrangement actually by a Japanese. I'm sorry, I can't remember the arranger, but just to share with everyone that that concert actually we just rehearsed 3 times, which is we only have 3 rehearsals and then we get together and we just played it. Yeah, I believe you'll enjoy the performance, right? The band sounds good. Yeah, they are great, man.
Yeah, they are really great. So, what inspired you to form the PJU Symphonic Band and Philharmonic Winds of Malaysia?
Over the years, actually, when I was young, back in 80s when I was in high school, actually I used to play with the Selangor concert band. Back then, actually, the Selangor education department actually they form a Selangor concert band, which every school from Selangor, there's a band. They select the students, and then they audition the students, and we get together every Saturday, and then we practice, and then so yeah. Then really inspired me, the fun of making music with different students from different schools, variety schools, And then after that, after my high school graduated, and I'm so honored to be selected to play in the ASEAN camp. So the ASEAN camp is actually is organized by all the ASEAN countries like Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, all this. Yeah, so I joined the camp a few times. And that also inspired me a lot because, we play with different countries, musicians and students, we get together and we learn from each other. And then later on, I'm so lucky to get into AYO, the Asian Youth Orchestra. So, just non-stop, inspired by all the professional musicians and my colleagues, during the youth time. So when I come back, so I thought, I talked to some of my former students and band students or school orchestra students, once they graduate, they have no space to play, no place to play, isn't it? So we talked to some of the ex-members and then we say, why not we just start something? Yeah. So of course, the PJ Youth and Philharmonic Winds are very different because PJ Youth are more for community, for students and amateur. And then 4 years ago, we started the Philharmonic Winds of Malaysia. And this is more for professional. And then we also invite major music unit students, to join us. And because of the musicians, they are so busy, So we usually have 5 rehearsal, 3 to 5 rehearsal, then we give one concert actually. Yeah. So I mean, yes, it's very challenging because it's very hard to get everybody together. Yeah, and of course, the rehearsal venue, the concert venue, and also percussion instruments. But we are so lucky. For the past few years we have the percussion store to support us, and yeah. And for me, actually, I'm so lucky for all these years because I have a very good colleagues. We have a very good committee to help us out. For doing everything here. So this is not just one person and work. Actually, it's everybody. Yeah. So, yep.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for your answer. So, when forming these two bands and symphony orchestras, did you encounter any hardships, and how did you overcome them?
As I mentioned, just now, venue rehearsal for venue. I mean, the venue for rehearsal is very difficult for us. Yeah, and then next percussion instruments, and then the schedule for musicians is very hard to get together because back in my experience, a lot of community group because they practice every week. You see, so which actually for me, I personally find it's quite a burden for everybody because it's a commitment. You see, and actually because the players itself, that not only playing with the PJU or the Philharmonic Winds, they also play somewhere else. You see, and some of them they're still school players, school members, so they need to study and all that. So what happened is we centralize. Actually, we go back. Is still the first thing is the idea that you want to play in the Philharmonic Winds or the PJU or whatever group you play is music. You want to make music. So we actually try to make good repertoire. We select good repertoire, and then so that everyone enjoy playing, and then also at the same time we perform high level, play high level of music, so that that is the aim, that goal for everybody, so that so yeah, that's the hardship for us actually. Yeah, and then funding always a problem. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for your answer. How did funding affect the band?
Actually, we are lucky, as I say again, because Philharmonic Winds, actually the players actually we are something very special that we don't do audition. I think we are the only group that in town that we don't audition, because we actually let all the principals select their own players. Besides the select their own players, also because most of them are teachers, so we would like them to introduce their students, their potential students, to play with us. So the students sit side by side with them, so they can learn as well. Because you can see our schedule is really packed. As I say, we only have 5 rehearsals, and each rehearsal is 3 hours, and with 15 minutes break. So everybody, got to be they have to be ready to play every time they come to the rehearsal. We have no time for everyone just to sight reading and things like that. Of course, we plan the program ahead and all that. So yeah, so this is the funding, because as I said, we are lucky because they play for volunteers, just for fun, to enjoy music, making music together. Yeah. So and then the funding is because we have to pay for the performing venue, concert hall, and then also we have to transport all the instruments, percussion instruments, we print tickets, all that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for your answer. So youth, especially teenagers, often complain about having not enough time to practice their instruments. So how do you balance your time between your work and practicing the trombone?
And I think everybody always, you always hear people that complaining, the life is not fair, right? So actually, for me, it's fair to everybody. You have, yeah. So, and this is how we manage the time. And the thing is, I always think that we should manage things instead of time. You see, so what happened is you have to, for me, as I say, the most difficult time to practice is, you have to walk to your instruments, open the case, and take your instrument out to practice. That is the most difficult to practice, So I find you just have to plan your time. You see, this is why we learn music, why we play music, and this is part of the learning, through music. So you have to be disciplined. You see, so yeah, and then also everybody is busy, right? So for me, I practice in the morning, yeah, and then afternoon I will start my lesson, teaching, all that, yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for your answer. So we always say that basic exercises are important for musicians, especially for beginners and youth musicians. But basic exercises are definitely less interesting than repertoires. Can you share some tips on making basic exercises more interesting?
Because I'm teaching band, yeah, I'm conducting bands a lot nowadays. So know that musicians, yeah, music students, let's put it that way, music students, we don't like to practice basic long tone skills, and all the teacher always say the same thing. You have to play long tone, you play skills, and brass player, you play lead slurs, right? So, and I think we try to make to me, let's say in the band, how I make the basic to make it more fun to practice, because let's say usually we started the band, we play skills. Yeah, I will usually, when you see most of the band method, okay, not all, but most of the band method, the percussion section will be left out. You can hear the reed and brass is not always keep playing, but the percussion section, that they only play the bass drum or snare drum, or they're sitting there. So once in a while, I will create something, some rhythm. I will ask the percussion section to play mambo rhythm. I will ask the percussion section to play something more interesting, or samba, So with that rhythm, and then the band will play skill on top of it. So, and then sometimes I will create some skill competition between the students, after they stabilize with the skills, the basic skills, and then I will add the range on them, you see. So, and because there's something that I learned from my teacher, because I'm a trombone player. So when I was young, I practiced a lot of lead slurs, technical. So I talked to my late teacher, and then I said, this is bored, man, sometimes. So my teacher said, you cannot just practice the basic, sometimes you have to play more music, etudes or simple etudes, whatever, just take it out and side with, because we actually measure our techniques or basic from the music. You cannot perfect your basic, then only you start playing music. Yeah, but actually you can learn a lot of techniques through music. I do it the other way around, you see. So that's why when you start playing more music, actually you learn basic as well. So you won't be so bored of it. You see? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think I learned something more today. Yeah, okay. What is your advice for young musicians?
Advice, I can't say it's advice now. Nowadays, actually, I mean, as we know, I believe that most people who join this chat here, we all are musicians, or we play music, yeah, or we're music students, we play music. So what happened is, music actually is a long journey. It's not that instant rebate. You won't get the result, in overnight. You see, yeah. So it takes time to see the result. But we sometimes, as I always tell my students that, nowadays actually teacher, we can't just share knowledge with you, because student nowadays, okay, if you want knowledge, actually you just turn on your phone, you Google it, you turn on the YouTube, you learn a lot of knowledge, you get a lot of knowledge from all these things, you see. So I'm more, for me, I personally think that, teachers as the teachers, no matter your music teachers or mathematics, we should teach wisdom and attitude. And then these are the things that we never learn from the book, actually. Yeah. So for young musicians, my advice is, music actually is just a tool. The tools that, you can use music. From music, you learn how to be leader, cooperation, you learn teamwork, you learn reaching, you learn teaching, you learn feeling, and then from music, you're inspiring people. You see, so that's my advice. So not just sitting there and focus on your instruments. Yeah. So I always think that young musician, actually you should play more chamber music, because chamber music is that one that is the thing that you have no way to hide. Yeah, even in my band, my high school band, I encourage my high school band to play chamber music. So no matter from duet to sextet, or brass ensemble or whatever. And usually I don't take charge on that. I let the students, yeah, because my teaching method actually is more on, I teach the student how to teach themselves.
Oh.
Important, yeah, because like I told my university students, I say, I only see you once a week. Every time I see you is 1 hour. So by the time you graduate, total, I teach you only 72 hours. Let's say if I teach you for 72 hours, I let you practice 72 hours non-stop. Do you think that you can play like me? It's impossible, right? I say, so it's not that 72 hours make you to be better, you see. It's along the way, how you learn. You see, I always tell my student, I'm not your teacher. You are your own teacher. Because as you know, Malaysia situation, the situation is usually you own the band, because we have not much budget from the school, as you know. So we can't afford to have every instrument to have a teacher, isn't it? Have a tutor to teach. So I think this is very important, we teach the students how to teach themselves. So from that moment, from that carry on, that they learn how to be the leader, how to hold the section, you see. So how to lead the section. So yeah, I think that is my advice, or just something to share with the young musician. Not just focus on the playing, but learn something, from the music. Through music, you learn something else, which I think is very important. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So JPO has been doing various types of programs, such as outreach programs and this MCO broadcast program. What do you think of the programs that JPO has done?
It's really impressive. I never thought of that you guys can create a platform, to share with everybody, not only in Sabah, but also in West Malaysia and everywhere else. Now people are watching us, and then our discussion, we share all the things. I mean, you guys are fantastic. I heard that you guys also even, you go to some Sabah, some small place to do outreach, to teach them music, to let them start a string program. Am I right?
Yeah, yes.
Fantastic, man. Yeah, awesome. Keep up the good job. Yeah, impressive. Awesome. You guys are really awesome. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So I have a joke for everyone listening here. So how many bass trombonists does it take to change a light bulb? Does anyone know the answer? Well, I'll just reveal it to you. The answer is that bass trombonists do not change light bulbs because light bulbs are too high for them. Yeah. Because bass trombonists, they only play the low notes, so they cannot reach the high notes. Okay, the second one is this one. That's one small step for music and one giant leap for trombone. This is for the trombonist. So, as you all know, the B flat and the B natural, they have very different positions. So it's a very big leap for trombonists. And the next one is just a photo. Yeah, okay. So before we start the Q&A section, I would like to remind everyone to leave your questions below for Mr. Eric. So the first question here is from YouTube Live. So Mr. Eric, how do you go about selecting repertoires for your ensembles, particularly high school bands, and how do you know when it's time to introduce more difficult pieces or different genres for the band?
Yeah, very good question actually. Yeah, and in fact, we thought of to have a workshop, to have a what do you call that, a session or workshop, just focus on this matter because repertoire, how we select repertoire. For me, of course, we have to select something that the players, yeah, because, and also the next thing is audience, and then what the benefit that the players get from the repertoire, and then of course the last, something that if I conduct, I want to select something that I like also, isn't it? I like it as well. So what happened is, I recall some people, they said that pop song is not, they call the pop music, they call it fast food program, fast food repertoire. So which like McDonald's, actually we all know some fast food, okay, I will say the name, but fast food tastes good all the time, but it's not so healthy. Am I right? Yeah. So but I personally think that nowadays we have a lot of good arranger all over the world, Japan, Europe, America, and then in fact in Malaysia we have a few good arrangers coming up. As long you get a good arranger, a good arrangement, which I think is why not, you see. So I usually in the repertoire I will try to select something that of course the tonality, the color of the piece, yeah, what my player will benefit from this particular piece. And then in my program also I will try to choose some transcription, which is orchestra music and transcribe for band, because I think that the players actually they should learn some classical program, not only focus on band, you see. Yeah, band programming. And then of course, as I say, I will select something lively music, and then in the end is how we attract, how we teach, or how we lead the players, to perform. Yeah, to play. Yeah, so the variety of repertoire in the learn to win music piece. Let's say you select a big piece. Some big pieces now in the band repertoire, you might have 3 movements, or you have 4 movements.
Yeah.
So some you can actually, because of the time, you see, you can just select 1 movement, and then or 2 movements for this concert, and then next concert you can go for another 2 movements. So at the same time, when the student listen to it, I mean, I'm of course, when as a teacher, you encourage your student to listen recording, especially the student will listen to recording, as when they play the particular piece, so they learn that particular literature, of the repertoire also. You see, so when the players, I always think that you have to select something challenging. Yeah, maybe you grade 3. This semester you play grade 3, and then maybe next year you can aim 3.5 or 4, you see. But sometimes you learn the repertoire doesn't mean you have to perform it, but that is the challenge. Yeah, and when the student reach that level, and then you come back to play something simple to grade 3 and grade 2, and then they will start to enjoy the music. Yeah, instead of they focus on just the fingering and reading. Yeah. Oh, I have students here from Science Liner. Hello, guys. Yeah.
Okay, the next question is, How do you keep your passion on discovering new music?
Okay. New music. I don't know what you mean the new music here. Because new music band actually compared to orchestra, everything is new music.
Sorry if we're experiencing any lagging.
Most of the thing, most of the time we play all new music or mediums, Yeah. Nowadays, especially we play towards, yeah. Better now? Wow.
Yeah, sorry for the lagging because it is due to the weather. Yeah, sorry for the disturbance.
Hi, Rachel. Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay now.
Yeah, because the line is not. So new music to me is we don't have to always stick on the same pieces all the time. So what happened is the new music, right? Again, I will back to think of my students, the level, because I usually will choose some mixed meter, it's like 5/8, 3/4, 7/8, all this kind of repertoire to mix with the program that I play. So my students, they will learn different, thing of, this kind of repertoire as well for the new music. Yeah.
Okay, this one is from YouTube. Dear Mr. Eric, how do we teach breathing to a member that always tense their upper body up unconsciously?
Yeah. Oh, how to teach breathing to a member that always tense their body up, okay, unconsciously. I always think that breathing, right, is like you're talking. You should not create any tension on that. Yeah. And must tell you that, confess to you, because I've been playing trombone for 30 years now, and sometimes I myself also forgot to take a breath. The most important to me is, for me, I always think that the breathing, you should take the breathing as part of the rhythm. Out the metronome, yeah, 1, 2, 3. You see, so if you practice the breathing with the metronome or with rhythm, that in the middle of the place, sometimes you will take the breath better. So what happens is you just always have to think of the equal, what do you call that, the stabilize of your airflow and the air speed. Because what happened is I realized most of the students, they only think of the 2 beats, which is the 2 beats, and then the beat that they blow. I always tell the students, you have to equal the air speed. Let's say you play 4/4 beat, you always breathe 4 beat. You have to do the mathematics like each beat equal to 25% of the air.
Okay.
That's why I always think that student, I always see student, and then the sound, and then they're getting weak. Because they don't know how to control the air speed. Yeah, if the air speed is not really, the inhale, only the inhale or the exhale. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Eric. So there's another one from Jamin Kamaruzaman. He says, he or she says, hi, Mr. Eric, what advice would you give for students who want to become professionals?
Professional musician. All right. I just talked to one of my students, my former students who play in Catholic high school band. She's actually now studying in Switzerland. She major horn now. And for me, that, I say, of course, it's not easy to get a job. We know. We have to be realistic. Yeah, because now the younger players, like you guys, you are getting younger. I mean, you are young, and then you are getting better. You see, because of the technology, and you guys are much easier to get resources, you know. Yeah. So what happened is, if you plan to become a professional musician, you have to work very, very, very hard. You see. So what happened is, I told my student, I said, you do not just aim yourself to become a performer as a professional. You see, I remember one of my teacher told me that, you know, no matter you are a good player or you are not so good player, in the end, you end up, you teach. What happened is, yeah, so do not, if you want to be a professional musician, but not just focus on performing, but, you know, you learn the pedagogy of your instruments, you learn the pedagogy of teaching, you know, then you can share more, you know. Yeah. So Xiaomin, I hope you, yeah.
Okay, there's another one from YouTube from Jahid Alamin. Hello, Mr. Eric. What do you have to say about the differences in impact for student musicians who are studying jazz and classical music?
Actually, yeah, first of all, I always envy that people can play jazz. I love jazz. Yeah, because when I was younger, my teacher always say, you know, try to play by heart, try to play by heart, try to play jazz, and I always never really start that. You see, so I really regret when every time I still play. I play in the big bands with my colleagues, you know, all that. I play pop music, you know. I say every time I see my saxophone friends or trombone friends that can at least, you know, I really envy them. But again, I talk to many jazz players, you know, you back to basic, classical, or you play jazz. We start from basic. We start from classical train. I don't know whether you heard of Winter Marsalis, you know, and Winter Marsalis started with classical. Yeah, you know, he still do aban, you know, if you are a trumpet player, you know what is aban, you know, flute, you know who is Trevor White. You start with the method of Trevor White book method. You see all this, yeah. So for me, I think no matter you study jazz or classical, actually the impact for me is you start from beginning, basic.
Okay. Here's a question from Lee Jamie. Mr. Eric, I have been facing problems when reaching the high notes because I have braces. Can you please give me advice? Thank you.
First of all, Jamie, I don't know what instrument you are playing. Actually, are you a brass player? Sorry, man, this is a big question. It's really, really tough question. I have some students facing this, you see. Yeah. I told my students that you're on the, for your healthy wife, actually, you know, yes, of course, it's good to, yeah, you should put the bracelet as early as you can. Yeah. But now you're having problem on the high note, you see. So I would think of, if you're a brass player, yeah, because if you're woodwind, sorry, I couldn't help you much. But if you're a brass player, I would think of you do more bassing, you know. It's like an arpeggio. Always arpeggio is held, you know. And do not focus on the mouthpiece tension on your lips. It's not how much tension the connect of your lips with the mouthpiece. To me, is how much your aperture. The aperture is the hole that you play. If your aperture is smaller, of course you need more air. So think of the airflow again, airspeed. That's why you feel difficult, because you are always the mouthpiece. I believe that, you know, you push your mouthpiece to your face. You know, try not to. If I say totally no tension, that is impossible. Yeah, there must be some tension and pressure on that, actually. So yeah, try to work on the bassing. Yeah, use bassing, you know, practice your bassing to go up. Yeah, and arpeggio will be.
Okay. Here's a question for Mr. Eric. How do you analyze the music, and what do you think when you're playing or conducting?
Okay. Good. All right. Yeah. Actually, one thing I regret that, you know, I don't play piano. Yeah, but lately because of the crisis here, now we stay at home. I started to play a little bit of piano, and then and somehow I really enjoyed it because what happened is I really enjoyed it because I can play the harmony by myself. So this, I'm a trombonist. We can't make harmony by ourselves, right? We have to make harmony with one section, you see. Yeah. So what happened is how I analyze the music. I always think of, I look at the score, vertical and horizontal. Yeah. I look at the rhythm. I look at the harmony. I look at the melody line, so that when I conduct, I have to know where the direction. Yeah. I have to know the dynamic. Sometimes, let's say, dynamic, most people think that is a volume. But for me, sometimes I think dynamic, because volume, let's say fortissimo or pianissimo, people will think that that is loud and soft. Yeah, for me, I don't think that is a volume. To me, I think that that is an expression.
Okay.
Yeah. You do crescendo. Let's say you analyze the crescendo, how you do the crescendo. So the crescendo and decrescendo, to me, I think is the expression. Yeah, I remember one of my teachers said, "You never crescendo until you're in tune." People, when you do crescendo, you blow harder, right?
Yeah.
So you blow harder, you blow louder. But to me, is the crescendo actually is how you play crescendo is you play softer.
Okay.
Crescendo, you see. So this is how I analyze the score when I look at it. You see. So and then yeah, to me, this is how I analyze the score. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Eric. So where and how can we start if we want to learn conducting?
Very, very, very interesting. Over the years, actually, there's students that text me. There's some music students text me. They want to start to learn conducting and all this. I don't know. For me, I look at the situation in Malaysia. Actually, we have professional orchestra in Tau, in Kuala Lumpur. We have NPO. We have the National Symphony Orchestra. We have RTM Orchestra. We have Bandaraya Orchestra. We have 4 professional orchestra in Tau. And I don't know why we need so many conductors. Yeah, to me, I would think it the other way around, because let's say how I usually I don't teach conducting at all. There's many students actually call me for class, so I say, because conducting to me actually is not difficult, because everybody can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, Yeah, to me, the difficulty is, how you bring this, the orchestra, the youth orchestra from this level to the other level, how you build up the level of the how you make music with them. I think that is more important. So let's say conducting, when I teach my band, all my Form 1 students, right, when the first 2 months, when they join the band, usually in my session, I already teach them how to conduct.
Oh.
Yes, because I think it's very important. My experience is I attended a lot of rehearsal and a lot of school band or community band rehearsal, and then the students, the conductor always tell the students that, please, or players, look at me, look at me, look at me. They always say these things. But the problem is, I realized that because they never train how to look at the conductor.
Yeah. I
conduct, because they just don't understand what I'm doing. You see, so I think for beginner in the band, I think it's very important that, we teach them to conduct a little bit. So what I'm doing when I'm conducting, when I'm teaching them, that to me, how to start the conduct, how to learn conducting. Yeah, this to me, I will put the the question around, you know, I think everybody should learn a little bit of conducting, so you understand, you know, like let's say National Band Director Association, we have organized 2 conducting workshops, and we have a good response, you know, and the first conducting workshop was last year, July, and professor from Arkansas University, and Catholic band is the demo band we play for everybody, you know, yeah. So, and I was so shocked that my students actually, they can, because we select 6 conductors to conduct the band, because it's a conducting workshop. Yeah. So, you know, I was so glad that my students, they really respond, every conductor in front of them. They respond. The last one was a few months ago. We did it in ISKL. We joined the Catholic band with the ISKL band. We joined, and then a professor from Hawaii University. And same thing, you see. So I think it's more important that as a conductor, you have to train your players how to look at you. You have to tell them, because they are not NPO. They are not National Symphony Orchestra. They are not professional. You have to teach them. You have to educate them. Yeah. So the other thing is a lot of better musicians, you know, better students. They were, when in certain level, they start to think that I want to conduct. To me, in Malaysia's situation now, I think that we need more trainers. Trainer are different, you see, because Malaysia, we have a lot of bands in Malaysia, Sabah, Sarawak, and West, you see, but we don't have enough tutor actually. Yeah, enough trainer. I think that's more important. So I would suggest, you know, if students that you think of, you want to start to learn conducting, I will encourage you. You want to be a professional musician, I encourage you. Why not you search for a course, you know, in overseas, to learn band pedagogy, band education. I think which will be help our countries very much. Yeah.
Okay, the next question is from YouTube, Shahid Alamin. How do you instill discipline in your students and in your practices, sir?
Discipline is not, you know, we sit there, we don't talk, you see. So to me, the discipline is more important that we is self-discipline.
Self-discipline.
Have to order. Yes, we have to order. We have to tell you not to do, you know, what not to do and what to do. That is not life anymore. It's no fun in making music, you see. So I think very important, because what is discipline? Discipline, we go back again. Just now your question was, you know, how the young students will pick up the instrument, how they will practice by themselves, you know, and then, yeah, you see, yeah. So to me, if you every day pick up your instruments, right, that is also discipline.
Okay.
Yes, that is also discipline. So what happened is, we have a training. We start from, not from me, actually, from the senior student. The senior student, you have to show good example. Yeah, because when you started a good discipline, a good tradition in the band, right, the junior will follow, you know. So I for the past few years, I'm very amazed that I learned from some of the sport team athletes. Yeah, because when we do music, right, we don't do sport, you know. A lot of band members, they will skip the PE class or PJ class, they go to the band practice, you know, all that. Yeah, but I really think that, yeah, I learned a lot from the sport team. Yes, because what happened is, there's one Japanese university, the baseball team. Let me share this story with you. The baseball team, the newcomer student, they concentrate on practice, and then the year 4 students, they have to go to line the field, you know, to mark the line, to give the prepare water for the new student, so the new student can concentrate on practice. So by the year 4 student, actually they do the same thing. So you see, the senior is serving the junior, but I think in Malaysia band, all the juniors serving the senior. The senior always concentrate on practice, and then the senior, you know, you get ready the water, get ready their bag, get ready their instruments, get ready the score. Am I right? Yeah. So I think we should do it the other way round, and this is how we train their discipline and do their, train their teamwork. Yeah.
Okay. The next question is from Chloe Kwa from YouTube. Hi, Mr. Eric. May I know if there are any effective exercises or methods to help students with difficulties learning how to count rhythm?
Actually, everybody will say use metronome, right? Yeah, exercises, what method, all that. Yeah. So if I would just go to the band room and take the snare drum book. And brass instrument, we never go to the percussion section, and the percussion section never come to the wind and brass section. Do you realize that? I think everyone agree with this, Yeah, but when I was young, I go to the percussion section. I take the snare drum book, and then turn on the metronome, and then you sing with the rhythm. Yeah, so you don't have to just buy a rhythm exercise book or method book for rhythm, and then, but that is a book that I can't remember the title. I used to read the book. It's by Paul Hindemith, a composer, American composer called Paul Hindemith. He's very good in rhythm. There's one book that he used to use in Yale University, and you can search online. I hope I still have that book with me. Yeah. But he said that practice rhythm that with metronome. Actually, everyone concentrate to use metronome to practice only rhythm. Yeah, but I personally think that actually metronome actually gives you more, because rhythmic, if you count, your teacher always tell you to subdivide each beat, if you can, you subdivide to 16 notes. Actually, if you subdivide, you listen to metronome, everything that you practice, you play with metronome, you actually listen better. You will hear better, because that is not for you just to keep the tempo, but I believe the metronome is for you to keep your sound as well, and then the direction of the phrase also. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So there's one question here on Zoom. Based on your experience, what is the most significant difference between Malaysia bands and overseas bands? What do you think Malaysia bands can improve on?
Okay, for the past 10 years, I must say Malaysia bands, we actually better. Yeah. The only thing that for me is sad in Malaysia's band scene, we only work by ourselves. We work by our own. We don't get together very much. Actually, like we have SPT school, Sekolah Asrama Penuh, which they actually have competition every year, which they only for the boarding school students. And then you can hear some of the band level, the repertoire that they play is very high standard. Yeah, and then the public school, also I must say, the repertoire, you go to their concert, you can hear that they're starting to play grade 4, grade 5 pieces. You see, so the only thing that I find the Malaysian band compared to overseas band, right? We need to perform more. Yeah, and this is go back to big picture again. I hope our government, will support this. They should build more concert hall instead of shopping center. Yeah, they should build more art center, concert hall, for students to play. And too bad that in Amsterdam, yeah. Okay, no, we don't have to talk about Amsterdam. Even in Singapore, the plenary hall, the planet hall. Any school bands actually can rent that hall to play. You see, in Malaysia we can't. We don't have platform for that. Yeah. So what happened is most of the time the Malaysian, the local band, we only busy. We only play for the school event, which I think is not enough. Yeah. So we can do more concerts. I wish. Yeah. Of course, it depends on the school allow you to do that or not, because the school will tell you, oh, we have no budget to do concert. Every time you do concert, you're fundraising again. All that. Yeah. But I've been thinking of why not all the band in Malaysia we do closely. We work closely together. We can do joint concert. maybe Catholic one day can go to Sabah to do concert with Kenkok, and then Kenkok will come, we can do alternate year. So the student will learn from each other. Sometimes as a teacher, I always think that the student actually that learns faster with free to share, you see, and then you build a friendship from there. So that's how I look at the difference of the Malaysia band and the overseas band.
Okay, the next question is from Ms. Chow. Hi, Mr. Eric. JPO is starting to form a wind brass community band in KK. Can you give us some advice?
First of all, it's good move. Yes, because as we know, Malaysia in the orchestra, right? No matter it's community orchestra or what, the wind and brass and percussion player usually they started from band. You see, and then in orchestra, you only need the most 4 flutes. Yeah, you only need 5 trumpets and 3 trombones or 4 trombones, which actually is not enough spot or seat for the wind and brass player. So I think it's very good move on this. So I would say that first of all the schools have to work closely together. Yeah, because I noticed that I've been hearing, every state actually, you have your own territory. I don't have your. So and things like that, I would strongly think that everybody should work closely together, and then try not to have the audition. I understand when students when they hear auditions, they're very scared. They're scared of auditions. Yeah. But my advice for students actually do not scared of the audition, because the audition is part of learning. You see, how you prepare audition is, let's say, and also you bear in mind for students, when you're doing auditions, actually the panel actually they are not looking for the best. How good the best is not. Actually, they also look at your attitude. Pieces, and I always think that I've been listening a lot of audition through the years, and the participants usually they actually play the music that more difficult. So my advice is, try to get the wind and brass player in Sabah or in the community. Try to work together. Yeah. And then, first of all, I always think that I don't know, this is just my personal opinion, because some community group that always think, oh, we are a community group, we don't have to perform high level of, because to me is, when audience, they buy tickets, they buy your concert, you have to perform well. That is the responsibility of musicians. You cannot just say that because we are community, so we cannot just simply play the concert or whatever. So I think my advice is, just get anyone and start from scratch. Yeah. Also, I think the other advice is regarding the schedule, rehearsal schedule. Always is a problem for community band, because when they say community band, I believe there must be a student are still playing in their own school. You see.
Yeah.
As I said before, I have been working with some of the community group, in Ipoh and somewhere else in Taiwan. I always suggest to them, let's say, the rehearsal schedule, every month you have 4 weeks. Try not to put 2D. One week you can do, the last week you can do 2D rehearsal, and then 1 week you do sectional for woodwind, 1 week you do for brass, and the other week you do for percussion. So the wind and brass, they don't have to come, they can come alternate week. So you cut the burden, you see. And as a conductor or as a trainer for anybody, you can be more focused when you do the sectionals. And when you do sectionals, they can listen to them each other better actually. Yeah. I would strongly think that that's my advice for the students. Yeah, I mean for community. Yeah, group.
Okay. The next.
So your question.
The next question is, can you share some experience in AYO and how you prepare how to prepare ourselves to audition in AYO.
Okay. This is AYO. Wow. Okay, this is the lifetime experience, man. This is you. I never forget that. Yeah, because how we prepare. Honestly, for AYO now, actually, is more difficult to get in because the requirement, is much higher also. Because they expect every instruments to play a professional orchestra excerpt. So you must study the orchestra excerpts very well. So the next thing is always remember they want to hear the best from you. You see, the best of your performance, not how high level that you can play. As I say, just now that when you prepare the audition, you have to select something that's suitable for your level. Say you are level 8, you should not select something that higher than level 8. Yeah, of course you can work on that, but the thing is, you have to select something that fit your character, fit your sound. You see, yeah. So AYO that I'm so lucky during my time that we had chance to play for Yo Ma, Michelle Maisky, Ding Chao Liang, all these big names. Yeah, it's really fantastic. Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is, can you share some study experience in Hong Kong? What is the big difference between the music university in Malaysia and Hong Kong?
First of all, back in actually 20 over years ago, it's totally different with the situation now. You see, that time in KL, actually, we had not even a trombone teacher. Yeah, there's no brass teacher, no trombone teacher. So during my time in Hong Kong, it's really a best experience, which actually fantastic scholarship. Yeah, I got a scholarship, it's full scholarship, as in the free tuition fees, and then free accommodation. They give me air tickets, and I have pocket money. All this. Yeah, and the experience in that because as a scholarship students, we have to work very, very hard. Yeah. So we have the band to play, we have orchestra to play, we have ensemble, we have chamber music every day. Yeah, every day. So in the morning is more on the theory and academic study. History, theory, oral training. Yeah. From noon onwards to evening is all about playing. We just keep playing and playing and playing and playing. So we only have time to practice by ourselves, after 8 o'clock. And then only we have time to work on our solo pieces, and yeah, individual actually. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Eric, do you have time for 2 more questions?
Yeah.
Okay, the next question is, how do you get motivation to continue doing music?
Good question. Motivation. Yeah, I mean, some of my colleagues asked me the same question also. My students, yeah, after they went abroad to study and then they come back and then they said, yeah, Mr. Eric, how you motivate yourself to? Yeah, what I learned from one of the great educators, from Dr. Tim Rosenheiser, the motivation is always come after you do, not before. Okay, Rachel, let's say, for example, you play in the band, right? So tell me, actually, you have you taken part in a competition before?
Unfortunately, no. Yeah.
How about concert? You play concert a lot, isn't it? Yeah, your own concert.
Yeah.
I mean, the band concert and orchestra concert. So tell me, is that true? Every time after you after the concert, you always feel like you want to play more, you want to practice more.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Every time after the last note of the concert you play, right? And then when you walk out from the stage, to the backstage, you always think, this part I should have played better. I should have worked on this one more, a little bit more. This particular bar I want to play, I should have practiced more. Am I right? You have that kind of feeling? Yeah, that is what I mean, Yes, the motivation always comes after that, not before. Yeah. So what happened is like how I motivate myself. I just keep doing, like Philharmonic wins. Yeah. Uh, every time, when we with the committee, I'm so lucky that we have a fantastic group of committee or colleagues. Every time we work so hard, to get everyone together and play a concert, and during the process, everyone is keep complaining. Everyone, wow, yeah. So 埋怨很多，对不对？一定会这样的嘛。Yeah. So, but after the concert, when we get back together, when we have a post-mortem, then yeah, we said, wow, this concert is fantastic, right? So when is the next one? Remember, motivation always comes after you do, not before. Yeah.
Okay. Next question is, Mr. Eric, I saw your biography. You are busy with so many bands and associations. Does it give you any pressure? How do you manage?
It's a good question, man. Yeah. Yes, as I said, all these things, right, is not just by myself, by my own, just one person. Yeah, I have a very good wife to support me. Yeah, and then I have very good students. Yeah, I have very good colleagues in Philharmonic wings. I have a good colleague in the National Symphony Orchestra, and then I have a good students in Catholic High and Science Langor. So this is an old good what do you call that? Colleagues in the National Band Directors. So this is not just by myself, my own. So this is the thing that I always say that is teamwork. Yeah. So as a leader, I always said you have to just lead by example. Yeah. Which actually I always said tell my student that you learn the leadership through music. You see. So you as a flute principal. So if you don't play piano, then you expect your junior to play piano this part. You always tell your junior, oh, you are too loud. But actually, the senior, if you don't play soft, then how they play soft, right? Yeah. So this is what I mean, as a leader, you lead by example. Yeah. So that's how I manage things. Actually, it's all the colleagues, with all the colleagues' help, yeah, and good students' help, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Eric. Unfortunately, we are running out of time. On behalf of JPO, I would like to thank Mr. Eric for dedicating your time and energy in joining us for our broadcast tonight. Thank you, Mr. Eric. And thank you everyone for tuning. Yeah. Thank you everyone for tuning in and supporting JPO. For those whom are still waiting for your answers, please stay as Mr. Eric will type out the answers for you. If you would like to review tonight's program, you can watch it on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us. Before we end, I would like to lead the ending prayer. Please pray in whatever belief you believe in. We pray for this coronavirus to stop spreading. We pray for people to stay at home instead of going out needlessly, and also for them to wash their hands properly. We pray for the safety of our frontliners and comfort families as they decide to keep their distance from elderly or other high-risk family members. Okay. Once again, thank you, Mr. Eric, for sharing with us tonight, and thank you everyone for watching. We hope you had a great evening. Tomorrow night, we will have Mr. Fu Siming, a violinist from Singapore, joining our program. Good night, everyone.